Hello again. The virtual invisibility of Keir Starmer's wife since he won last year's general election has given rise to various rumours, including the idea that he is actually gay and that she is what is known sometimes as a beard, which is to say a woman whom gay men sometimes brandish in order to deny or deceive people about their actual sexuality. In the case of the Prime Minister, this is unlikely to be the case. He and his wife may well have split up, but if so, it's not because he bats for the other side. Starmer has had a string of long-term girlfriends, but always found it difficult to settle down, get married and have children. His first child wasn't born until he was 46, which is pretty late in life compared with average men. While he was at university, Keir Starmer started going out with a woman called Angela O'Brien. They bought a flat together in 1990 and broke up a few years later. He then picked up with a woman called Julie Morris, and after that somebody called Philippa Kaufman, with whom he bought a house in Stoke Newington in 1997. They lived there together before splitting up. It was a few years later that he met his future wife, and they got married when he was 45. It could be that this is what might be termed a marriage of convenience for both parties. It looks less as though Starmer is gay, and more as if he thought that if he had serious political ambitions, then he ought to have a wife and children. There has been no bachelor Prime Minister since Edward Heath, and that's over 50 years ago now. Starmer's wife is still invisible, of course, and it's not impossible that they've split up. But then, too, she might have had her own motive for getting married in the first place. I won't even mention the awful idea of waking up in the morning and finding Keir Starmer's head next to you on the pillow, which might cause anybody to want to live separately from the fellow. The real explanation for the probable fact that she's no longer with her husband is perhaps the most obvious one. She comes from a conservative Jewish family. Like most women, she wanted children, but it would have been impossible to have any without marrying. Some members of her family already look at her a little askance because her mother was a convert, and there are those who therefore do not regard her as really being Jewish at all. Having an illegitimate baby would have just about put the tin hat on her. By the time she was in her early 30s, the case was getting desperate, and so she married Starmer. He was a very successful barrister and many other things. The ideal person, really, if you wanted someone to be the father of your children. As Nietzsche puts it in Thus Spake Zarathustra, everything about woman is a riddle, and the answer to that riddle is always pregnancy. Man is for woman a means. The end is always the child. Having had 2 children by him, the first just 9 months after the wedding, she saw no real reason to stay with him, apart from appearance's sake, which is, of course, why you won't often see pictures of them together these days.